Do me a favor, Rob, and go to your folders, which is the last. I'm sitting here pointing at it, and that doesn't do any good. It's the last bar on your toolbar.
Oh.
Yeah, right there, the middle one. Okay, spread that out a little so we can see it.
The screen is so small I can't.
You can make it a little bigger, move it up some. There we go. Okay, that's interesting. Is there no folders there? Is there anything showing up in yours? Oh, okay, I can't see the bottom.
Okay.
That's what I'm missing.
You see it now?
Yeah, much better. Okay, hover over the items folder there, or select the items folder. No, not that one. I apologize, the one below, items. Right-click, delete. Yes, and then select the items folder, make it blue.
You mean the building data?
No, select the item folder right above it, make it blue. And then right-click, new folder. Okay, hit the browse button. It should, okay, that's the one we want to pick. So go ahead and hit select. Go ahead and hit add subfolders. And then click OK. What this does is it refreshes the items folder. So now if you open that up, it'll actually have that piping components folder in there, or pipe.
Right.
You can grab out of that folder now and drag it into your services when you edit your services.
Okay. All right.
I called it like an adjustable with my button mapping. I called it I think a 90A or something.
It's open angle bend is what you got right here.
Yeah, but when you right click over, when you add it to a service,
right,
and you right click and go to the button map or button properties for it, you need to put a button code in and then add the button code to the button mappings.
Right.
So that way it'll fill for you. So if you wanted to pick right now, that I think this is meant for the open angle bend right now is meant for welds.
Right.
If you want to make one for like PVC or something like that, you need to change its materials.
Right.
You need to change its basically its copy it, paste it, and change its properties to match the service that you want to utilize it for. So if you did a design line right now with the welded system and you brought that open angle bend into it,
right.
There you go. So go ahead and hit the. No, it won't do it that way. You have to hit this item or the button down there next to chill water return. Edit service.
Right there.
Yeah, that one. Now if you hit the button right next to chill water return, edit service information, up by the service.
Edit. Right here?
That's it. Yep, that's it. Now you can go to the items folder and drag that button over there.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
That pipe
isn't there. You may have to close and open back up, but this is where you'll drag it from.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, you'll drag that in, then you need to right-click its button properties. I called it a button 90A. Like you won't be able to do it in that screen, but you will be able to do it inside of the other screen. And then basically call it a 90A, and in your services, in your button mappings folder, the tab that has button mappings, add bend and 90A. And then what it'll do is it'll fill for you. I can kind of show you on my screen if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it over to you. That way we got
like a plan. Okay. You guys see me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, in your edit service, the button mappings here, you just have a bend. You want to basically grab the bend here, copy, and then right-click and paste. And what it does is it creates another copy of it right in its place. And you can double-click it and edit it, and then just call that 90A.
Okay.
So I'll show you how to delete this. If you look here, right-click, button properties. Oops, sorry. On the other screen. You got 90A, 90A.
Right.
So when you draw your design line, it looks for that 90A. Line create. Let's see. Just put in some weird angle. And then do a fill. You'll notice that elbow will come in.
Okay.
But keep that in mind that that's, you know, that's a 23.375 degree angle. So use cautiously.
Yeah, we probably won't need it much, but there's occasions where we need it.
Right. Worst case scenario is you could exclude it from fill until you actually do need it.
Right.
And then you can always, you know, you can always just grab the elbow with the attacher if you have the attacher on. You know, you put your attacher on here, hit the Alt, and it lets you select the angle you want to use. Figures. Let you put that angle in there. It's like I said, that's the only problem with unmanaged content is, you know, it's not nothing you can buy.
Right.
It's obviously something you have to kind of build.
They fabricate it, right?
Yep.
Well,
Right.
I mean, you got some flexibility in some I guess, like no-hub couplings, Rick, what is it, 3 degrees or something like that?
And those will, that'll be incorporated.
What's that?
Those will be incorporated. I'll show you. Oop, cancel that. I'll show you where that is. There's a tolerance in each fitting.
All right.
Let's see if I can find it here. Item. I don't know if this one will actually have it now that it's not managed. Let's actually look and see if these will show us. There's a plus or minus 3 degree tolerance in the angle. This won't have any because it's a weld.
Hey, go to
yeah, like
plumbing
look at a no hub fitting.
Yeah. No hub. What is this? Low grade, NIPCO, no hub. There we go. Yeah, now there's tolerances on there. It is angle tolerance, 3 degrees. So the fittings that are in the building data that are basically built by building data and TSI, or if the fitting tolerance is there, if it gives you a tolerance, they'll actually have it incorporated.
Okay.
So it kind of gives you a little bit of play on your 90-degree bends. You get 93 or 87.
Okay.
Unfortunately, with these, you can't edit these because they're from building data.
Right.
You know, we can't actually say, well, give me a 5-degree angle tolerance. It's even if you unlocked it, it's not going to change for you. With that 90, though, you could utilize that 90 in its services, and then, you know, if you made it to a no hub 90, then you put the connectors on there, and you should have the angle tolerance that you can adjust.
Draw a piece of pipe out with that no hub and draw it long enough to get a couple of couplings in it. So now you're saying I could rotate that and it would still stay connected?
Rotate.
So if I wanted to turn that pipe at 3 degrees on
point.
each one of those couplings?
You'd have to actually, yeah, you'd have to physically rotate it from the node.
Right.
You could rotate it to be anything, really. It's just not going to fill back. You know what I mean? Like, let's actually do this. I'll show you here. Do a design line. Say a 3-inch. F8. Come on, give me my polar. Now it's not even going to give me my angle. That's awesome.
I think your polar
No.
toggle's off.
It's off.
There you go.
Turn it on. The coupling hopefully has, well, coupling doesn't have a 3-degree tolerance. It's looking for the bend.
Well, the coupling's what has the tolerance,
Right.
not the pipe.
Yeah,
It's not the fitting.
And different manufacturers, that tolerance is even different. Like Husky, I think you could go 4 with Husky bands. But then the other question is, if you've got a 12-inch piece of no hub pipe and you've got it band together, can you get that 3-degree bend in it?
Well, like I say, I don't.
Problem,
with the design line, it looks a little funky. So let's.
Yeah, well, zoom in on that. I can't see it, but it looks like it just didn't put the coupling in.
It didn't. It looked for a bend.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
looking for a bend. Yeah, let me close this. Close my design line.
See, in MEP, we can do that, and it'll put it in, and you can actually do it on PVC as well. Even though you might not be able to install it, you can draw it with
Yeah.
a 3-degree.
You could come back. You could come back and fill at that point. You know what I mean? You could rotate on your node. 1 degree. And it's not the greatest and fastest of methods, but 2 degrees. You could start breaking them at pipe joints.
Right, but that won't fill back if you had to slope it or whatever.
No, because it'll look for that bend.
Right. That's something you need.
Let's see.
That's something you need to send to your programmers, because that's, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's rare.
Let's see what the annotate actually is here. You annotate. Yeah, it's looking for that bend. I wonder if you could maybe put that coupling in as a bend. Change its button properties. Instead of a CP, maybe you'd have it as a CP, make a copy of it, and call it a bend as well. I'd have to play around with that. I'll see if that'll work. Maybe you could set that coupling to be a bend the same as you could, because what it's looking for right now is a bend.
Right.
So if you go into your service editor, right now it doesn't have a CP as a bend. Let's see, copy, paste. Let's see if it'll look for a CP. Okay. Just do an erase. There we go. Just needed to add it to the. It works now. You just have to make sure that the bend gives it a tolerance for the angle.
Right. So
So
try to refill that, see if it works.
yeah, I just did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yep. So as long as it's under the 3 degrees, it'll give you that bend.
Refill that other one up there that you drew. There you go.
Yeah, so as long as it's up to 3 degrees, it'll give you that fill. So keep that in mind. You got to go in there and add that. It's looking for a bend,
Right.
and this wasn't considered a bend until we told it to be a bend. And that was in our button mappings here. So now it looks for this. It's going to look for all these before it throws in a coupling. You know what I mean? It'll look for
Right.
the 90, it'll look for the 60, the 45, and then it'll throw in the coupling last. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Problem solved, right?
There you go.
Let's see if it'll do it with more of an angle. See what it actually looks for when we throw in something that's a little bit more of an angle. So if we do this, shoot. Let's go with 6 degrees. Do a fill. That could get you in trouble.
Yeah.
It'll still fill it, but we know that ain't going to function in real life.
Right.
So keep that in mind. It'll put it in there. You've got to kind of know what you're drawing with and what you'll be able to use. But that's good. At least it'll work. 6 degrees seems like a little much. I may have to call them on that fitting and tell them, hey, there's more than an allowance of 3 degrees.
Yeah, I would definitely issue that out. See if it's.
I will. So the coupling and no hub.